So in this video, we're going to talk about how to get variation in your hi-hats or your claps. So in this video, we're going to do that by using LFO. What we're going to do first is bring in a reverb. So this is an Ableton stock reverb, and this is how it's going to sound. Okay, we're going to follow that up by typing in LFO here and bringing in a LFO from the audio effects. And then we're going to select waveform random because we don't want any predictability at all in this sound. And then we're going to click map to dry wet. So if we just increase the rate, the dry wet will increase. So let's just show you that. So you see it's moving a bit faster. If we decrease the rate here, the dry wet will move slower. Just increase it a little bit there, like that. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to increase the smooth signal so it doesn't sound so jittery. Let's play it without the reverb and then we'll put the reverb on. Put the reverb on now. So you can see that the volume of that reverb is moving at a random pace. And obviously this is all adjustable. You can make it move slower or faster. Let's move it really fast just so you can hear the difference. I think somewhere in the middle, about three will do. What we're going to also do, and by the way, this is a new thing for Ableton Live 12. You don't see this in previous versions. You're just going to click remote. So what remote does is it says, what are your start and ending positions for the LFO? So as you can see here, the start and ending positions are 0 and 100. So the randomness is going to go anywhere between 0 and 100 in this dry wet. So say, for example, we reduce this to 10. You can see the random here is only going to go between 0 and 10. So let's just take a listen to how that sounds. So let's just slowly increase that. Also, we can even select a higher starting position so there's always some reverb. So something like that will work. Now the cool thing with LFO is you can map more than one thing. So but it's going to use this same random waveform to control, but you can do more than one thing here. So let's just click on this map button here. So we're going to now map the stereo signal. Let's click remote and we'll start that at 0 and 100 and then we'll tweak it as we go. You can see now that that signal is moving based on the rate. Let's just tweak it now so it just goes down so it's not overly going too crazy. The other thing we can map here is the diffuse. There it is. And once again, we can control how much is getting mapped. And if you want, the last thing you could probably do is map pre-delay. Pre-delay is an interesting one because let's just start pre-delay really low and end it low. Because I don't want really too much pre-delay here. So once we've got all of that under control, let's increase that smooth to 100. Let's hear the difference. Now I think that is a little bit too much reverb, so let's just reduce the amount there like that. So we really have a variation. Let's just listen to it in context of the song. So the next thing I wanted to do is add a delay. Just type delay here. Once again, we're just going to use the stock delay from Ableton and we're going to do a time-based delay. So if we just hear what it sounds like out of the box with the reverb. So what we're going to do now is bring another LFO in. We're going to control what that time is. We're going to reduce it, but control how much of that time is going to come through. So we're going to go once again back into random. Because they're linked, because you can see this thing in the middle here, it's linking it together. Both the left-hand, right-hand side will move at the same rate. Let's just click on this. So this is 0 to 100. Let's hear how that sounds. So you can hear a lot of jitters and stuff. So let's just increase that smooth to 100. And we just reduce the maximum amount here so it's not over the top. And a bit of a minimum there. Let's change that phasing there. Right, so now we can start playing with the rate and increase or decrease the rate. You can see that's moving quite fast within the ranges that we've set it. We can set a higher range there like that. And let's click ping pong on as well. By the way, repitch mode has to be on here for this to work. Let's just reduce that feedback so it's not over the top. And we can even reduce the dry wet. And we can actually hear what it sounds like without the left and right hand side linked. So we'll just link them like that. Okay, now let's listen to the song with the clap, with the delay and the reverb. That dry wet's a bit too high, let's just reduce that a little bit. So that's pretty cool. What we can do now is we can select all of these by pressing Control A and then press Control G to put them into a group. We're just going to save that group. There you go. We're just going to save it. We're going to call it Delay Reverb. So what we can do now is we can now go to the hi-hat and drag that to the hi-hat. Now let's just solo the hi-hat and see how that sounds with that saved LFO. Let's listen to it without that saved plugin. So it's already a lot better. So let's just listen to the whole thing again. A lot of the reverb does tend to increase the overall perceived volume. So we just reduce that a little bit. The other thing we can do here is set the clap to be a little bit to the left and the hi-hat to be a little bit to the right. So let's listen to the whole track. Now the clap's going to come in. Let's switch everything off now. So that extra reverb and delay, if you can control it and make it more variable in sound and volume, then you do have a more interesting sound. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you've got any questions about it, I'm here to help. Thanks.